Hi everyone, this is Danny for Cupcakes Gourmet, and today we're gonna make the new Vanellope. The new movie is gonna be out on the 21st. It's the Wreck-It-Ralph 2, I think, and we are pretty excited. But before we start the video, you know the drill. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything, and press the little bell button. So we're gonna start with the ball, and I'm marking the center with the back on my brush. And with this little spoon tool, I don't know, it was on my haul a couple months ago, and I'm really like it. It's really cool to, to mark eyeballs and things like that. So you can see then I'm speeding up just a little bit because I go back a lot of times for each details, so but you guys can see everything. So now with the back on my brush again, I'm just pushing in the metal right there to start forming her nose. And if you don't want to do that, you can definitely not do that, because it's kind of a little bit easier just to put something on. You can just put a little ball for her nose. You can do that too. And now I'm just gonna mark what the smile is gonna be, so I can see if all the like the eyes, nose, and mouth, they're all in the place that you're supposed to be symmetrical. And I'm just gonna start making the little button nose that she has. If you don't want to do like this, you can just make a little ball. I'm just gathering together all the excess clay that was around there and just marking and making a little circle. It's even a little bit, like a tiny bit, and a tiny little oval circle that you can make. I'm just pushing it down to open a little bit the mouth. I'm sorry, the camera is a little bit out. You can see that I go back to it. It's just because I really wanted to show very close so you guys could see all the details. Marking with the silicone to the sides of the mouth. And I'm gonna open a little bit more because she has her lip on the top a little flat. And I'm making sure that I have the cheeks very like, she's always have like that little puffy face like kids. So I'm just marking, and now with the excess, I'm just gonna mark in the bottom part to make the lower lips, and keep marking the sides of the smile. Like every time that you do a face, you need to go back to it like over and over again. So don't forget to go that and see and recheck and if everything is okay. And now I'm just making sure that the marks that I put at the eyes are fine. And I always have my computer on, or a print picture on, like something that I can really see it. So when you see me getting out of the video, is because I'm checking, putting next to it to see how I look, how I like it, if I want to change anything. And of course, before I let it dry, I will check everything again. And I'm using this little sponge, like foam, to let it dry. And I'm actually using the air dry clay, the lightweight one, the one that I say that I buy at Amazon or China. I will leave the link below for you guys. And I'm just checking if the forehead's fine, if everything is marked, the lower lips, the cheeks, and everything, before we completely let it dry overnight to try to do anything else. If you're using cold porcelain, fondant, or if you're using any type of air dry clay, let it dry before you try to make any detail on top if you're starting, because if you are not really used to the clay, you're gonna lose some details. So I let it dry, and now with the white, I'm covering a little bit where the eyes are gonna be. You can like make this really deep and put more white too, and then put like eyebrows and things like that. But since she's a video game and I don't want to do like really specific face, like real people's face, and I'm sorry, I'm trying my best on this video. I don't know what was going on. So now you can see that I put a little far away for you guys to see if I can keep myself on there. It's just because when you're making some details, it goes away. So I'm not gonna worry about too much on the real, like human, like details on the face. Since she's a video game, I made a long snake with the light skin, and I'm just gonna place the top of the eye, the yellow the skin color and the white is gonna be like right there, and I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit. Don't worry if it's not white, because we're gonna paint it all over. And I'm doing that because on the picture she has that lower eyelids really accentuated, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna do the same thing the other side, cut the excess, and then we're gonna smooth it out all over the place. I know this video is killing me. I'm editing and I don't wanna, I try my best to do it to you guys. I'm just trying to fix and switch around my setup for the videos so I can show closer for you guys every single detail. So we got a little like another tripod to do this and put it up there, and then don't be on my table and don't shake it, so kind of like bear with us. So we trying to make it better. Now with the little blush, I think this is that NYC, like a Walmart, any brand, cheap brand blush, like makeup brush. I'm just gonna make all the highlights and like you're really getting your makeup done. So on the forehead, on the top of the forehead, cheeks, and the brow bones, and then the nose bone is always darker. So when you do that, you'll make even your 3D figurine to have a even more 3D effect. You don't need to do that if you don't want to. And you see that I'm using more yellow than pink, because as the video game and as the picture I was looking, she had like all this really marked down. It makes your white parts be whiter. And I put little pink on the cheeks and the end as well. So now with the brown, we're gonna just make a circle. And for that, don't forget to really be looking at the real picture of the, you know, the figurine you're making. So this is, again, is Vanellope. You can Google it, Vanellope from Rack I can say that. I know every time that I try to say it, it's funny, it's weird, it's my accent, I'm sorry. But we're gonna make a circle, and she is kind of looking in the side. That's the way I am doing it. So pick one picture, the one that she's looking at you, and that's the one you're gonna copy, because then you see that the second eye is not centered, because when I put her on the top of the body, she's gonna be kind of like looking sideways. So that's what you need to see. Pick the picture you wanna copy, or the picture you wanna base on, and go like the whole way from start modeling to the shadows, to the picture, to the face, everything. You follow one picture. Of course, you can have more, you know, just to base on, but I made the black and the center of the brown, and then with the skinny brush, I'm just making her eyebrows. You can definitely make that with the pen. If you're using edible, you know, any edible pen. If you're using not edible, like clay, porcelain, you can use even a Sharpie if you want to. I like to use paint, and it's because it's always close to me as well. So now I made it really tiny little lines for the eyelashes. I'm not worried that it's going over the white. See, then you can see it, because I'm gonna go cover the white again once I'm done. I just want that to be very delicate and very thick, like really thin lines. So if I go over it, don't worry, I will fix that up. And we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. So you do one long line and the eyelashes. Oh my god, I got quiet. How weird that. I know I talk a lot on my videos, but I want to pass as much information as I can for you guys. So now you can see I'm doing all the white over again. I can fix my circle, you know, the brown part. I can fix any black then it went over, anything that is not completely white. So don't worry about it. Almost everything you can fix it. So the only tip that I always say is let everything be so like completely dry before you try to paint, or it's gonna be a mess. And now I'm just gonna make a little dot between the black and the brown for the light reflection, just like that. And she is done. I even put a little bit more pink on her cheeks, but you're gonna see in the end. And now we're gonna start making her body. I make a little teardrop cone kind of shape, and I'm gonna measure at the picture, and now I know what I need to cut, and I will cut it. That's why I say that I don't have a weight. I get a picture, I printed the size I want her to be, and I kind of base on her like on that picture. If you guys on the video, me showing how I print the picture, how I base everything, how I, you know, make the structure of every figurine too, leave me a comment below and to remind me to do that video for you guys. So now I put a little bit skin color on the neck, because you never know if you're gonna see it or not. And she has a big head for a little body. And now I make another cone, and I twist it a little bit where it's gonna be one of the arms, because she has her hands over, you know, the sweater little, you know, pocket, and so we're not gonna see her hands. And so half of that is gonna be the arm, and half is already gonna be that pocket. So now you see that I'm marking, just because mainly I want to see the size, and to make the other one, just make a ball, a teardrop shape, and bend it just like that. And then we're gonna measure and see the size we need. I pre-mark all the fabric, you know, little details and things like that, because I like to see it, but I will mark it again once I put it in, you know, on the figurine. As you can see, I'm gonna cut it just to be sure that it's straight and looks like a, you know, that little part of the sweater. And then I cut it in a kind of like a little diagonal shape, so I can put them together. And I'm still looking at the picture, so now you can see the two arms and the little, you know, part of the pocket. And now I'm gonna remark everything, like the end of the sleeve and things like that, and put in a shape, and we're gonna place the body. You can make them separate. You can make her like her hands be showing to you or holding anything, but I thought then the picture that I found it, and she's like that, is very cute, so that's the one that I was following. If you haven't yet, don't forget to add me at Instagram. Is the #cupncakesgourmet, as you guys can see here, because I do put the picture there first. This Vanellope picture was there for a while. The Yoda picture is there for theirs coming this week too, so always do that. I make a ball, I squish in the center just like this, and I kind of pinch the ends. And now we're gonna cut this little part of the teardrop, the top part of the teardrop shape. We're making the hoodie from her sweater. So I'm just gonna cut the ends right there. That's the top part of the teardrop shape, and then we're gonna place on the back. Just like that, and make everything. Don't forget to put a toe peak, of course, on the top, or a little, you know, whatever you guys want to use for that, and let it dry before you touch it, so it, you know, doesn't mess it up. And now we're gonna do 2 teardrop shapes, long ones for her legs. She has boots on, so I'm just making the part of the legs, now making the part of the feet, and you just measure and you picture. Again, if you want to see the video, don't forget to comment, because I will forget, and I will try to figure out how to show you guys how I do that, or at least how I base myself on the pictures. Now I'm just opening 2 circles with the ball in the center, and we're gonna start building her shoe. I'm just gonna pinch together the same thing that I did for the hoodie, and just kind of making the excess clay come up, and then we're gonna make her shoes. And I will place the leg inside, and now we're gonna go the excess all around, so you make the top, you know, the part of the boots and goes to her leg, and the rest is for shoe. So now I have 2 of them, and I'm gonna place the way I'm seeing in the picture. She has, you know, they a little bit apart. So that's how we're gonna place it on. And I got a little extra, like a little scrap of clay, then I had it, and I just put it there just to be sure that the legs will be together, and to don't be too squished, because she needs a butt. And then she has that little skirt in the middle, and I was scared then if I just put the top part would just be too small, so I put a little bit of scrap of that. And now I'm just folding the clay to start making the little tutu skirt that I was talking about. I just open it flat and cut, and now I'm cutting the edges just to make, you know, be one straight line, and I'm just gonna make the marks again. Since I cut it, I will lose the details, but I want to make it uniform, kind of one length skirt, and I cut in the top too, so it's easier to put it on. And now you can see then the little scrap clay that I put it there is exactly where I'm placing the skirt. And I'm gonna place the two edges and a back part so I don't see in the front, and I will cut it. And if I need to do any adjust for the length, since now I put them together, I can just cut it as well. So now with the little tiny pinky, you definitely don't need to do that. I just want to show you guys how I made a little details from the hoodie. You know, those little cords that come from the hoodie, she has in pink in the picture, and I just don't want to try to make it. Sometimes it just, you know, you don't need it, you can paint it, but I thought that would be cute. And we're gonna make two, one for each side. And that's not a piece of glass. I think somebody asked me here or at Instagram if that was a piece of glass that I used to open the clay. No, it's not. It's acrylic. If you go to my haul, you can see it. And if you guys want to buy one, I can try to see if I can find and leave the link below for you guys. And now with the acrylic paint, since I'm using clay, it's not edible, I am making the white stripes that she has on her leg. She is totally dry before I start doing this. You can use clay and cut stripes and put it there, but I decided to paint because I think it's way easier than try to put stripes of clay on the legs, especially when you put everything together like I did. So I'm just gonna paint it. Paint to the back too. And now with a little skinny liner brush, I'm just gonna make the line in blue that she has in one of the legs. And if you wanna use pen or anything like that, and if you're more comfortable, just go for it. Now I made a ball with the black, the same size of the head, and I'm gonna place to the back. Since I'm using clay and I'm not using a styrofoam, you see that my head kind of gets flat when it's drying. So now I don't worry too much about it. What I do, I get the black or the color of the hair that, you know, the figurine is gonna have, and then we fix it and make the head be very round. And now with the scraps of clay, I'm making just little snakes, and I'm gonna copy the whole hair or as much detail as I want for the hair as I wanted to put it. So I always start with the bangs, because if, you know, of course, bangs is on the face. And then I put as much detail or as much clay I want for the rest of the head. But since I put the ball on the back to shape the head like itself, I don't need to use too much clay in the back. And now I'm just gonna make a little ball with the skin color and flat in the middle, and I'm gonna cut it, and that gives me two side ears exactly the same size and the same thickness. And now I'm gonna place on the sides. Remember to look at the picture to place them correctly. So now I made a long row, and we're gonna make the ponytail she has, and it's very curly and things like that. And she has a bunch of confetti on, like sprinkles and things like this. Then I have on the picture and the cover, but I didn't have it here because I wanted the hair to dry before I put anything on. But you guys can see in the picture. And I'm just gonna place that ponytail there. You can twist it as much as you want, can make as big as you want. Just look at the picture, see what you like the best. I don't want to make too much because I don't want to be top heavy. And now we're gonna make that little what's the name of this candy? I always forget this candy. The licorice. Is it that? I don't know. If somebody knows, write it down. I don't like it. I don't eat it, so I don't remember. But I'm just twisting and folding and twisting. So we have that little ponytail candy tied that she has over there. And she is all done. You can place her on the body, but let it dry completely before so nothing is squished, especially if you're not using foam. And she's done. I hope you guys like it. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see more long video like Disney videos. If we get a lot of likes, I will make another long one for you guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to share and subscribe and give me a little like. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. And that's it. Bye, guys.